Welcome, Shalom, to 10 minutes on tools for successful marriage. The subject of today is trying to change my partner. I'm sure that you're listening to this, you say, me? I want to change my partner? Yes, you. Most of us try at one time in the marriage to try and mold and change and, and to get a better partner than I have today. And so at least stop doing the bad things he's doing to be a better person. So what's the problem? I want it, I say it, it's important for me. So let's start. The explanation of this is a camera. To explain this problem, the camera is here. A man advertised in the newspaper looking for a wife. The next day received 100 requests. You can have mine, please take her. It's a joke. It's a joke that explains that sometimes there's a lot of fighting between people. And today we'll talk about one of the reasons why people don't get along together. Each one wants to try and change the other person a lot of times. And it's, for example, mostly it's for a good reason, to make a better person, to better environment, to take him to the next stage. And a lot of people get married and see the problem before and say, okay, this disturbs me, but I'm sure I'll help him change later. Meaning that I don't accept my husband or my wife as his, and I'm trying to mold him to change him. I will start now saying, at the beginning of this lecture, is very, very, very dangerous. What are the expectations, for example, I've heard as a marriage counselor, a wife from a husband? Change his clothes, the way he wears, learn more Torah, and when he prays davens, to do it more slowly, more correctly, to help more in the house, to fix things in the house, to go on nature trips. And the list is long, 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 long. And she says, very, 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 very important. And the husband, that she'll cook, the cook will be more tasty of the food, the house will be more nice to be there, to give more money to spend on her and the children. And the list is very, very long. I want to tell you a story of a wife that came to me with her husband, and she said, I want a divorce. I said, why? I'm married to my husband 9 years, and I'm fed up. I'm trying to change him all the time. It doesn't work. I said, okay, what do you want to change? Why can't he be normal like my brothers? Why can't he be normal like them? Why can't he pray like them, work like them? He hardly works, hardly prays. Why can't he be like them? Stop. So what is she doing? She has a role model, and she's trying to copy the role model. And she's comparing her husband to this role model. Very, 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 very dangerous. When we come into marriage, a lot of times we have a picture. What's a wife? What's a husband? How she act? How she talk? And where does this picture come from? Everybody has a picture. Nobody doesn't come without a picture. And as a marriage counselor, I meet that picture all the time. And I ask, where's that picture? What do they say? My father, my brother, my rabbi, role models. And I naturally compare my husband or my wife to that role model. And I say, is it close or bad? Close or near? Close or far, sorry. And this is the explanation of the camera. When I take a picture, I have this picture in my head. I have the picture of my brother, like she had. And every time she looks at her husband, she says, he's not like my brothers. Now, when I talk to her and ask her, she says, yeah, there's a lot of things that my brother disturbs, which my husband is great. So you're saying he has good things better than the husband? Yeah, of course. But what about 1, 2, 3, 4? So you want someone, you want his good parts and you want their good parts. But you don't want the negative. So we have a problem. When we try to live a life which is not ours, it's going to hurt. It's going to be a lot of pain there. Now, there's a model, a positive model, a negative model. For example, I am very, very angry. A person is very angry with his father, which are religious. So she or he becomes anti-religious. So my role model is now opposite. Whatever they do, I'm going to do opposite. The Haredim, I'm going to be Chiloni. The Chiloni, I'm going to be Haredi. So it's an opposite role model. So then I don't have my own choice. I'm all the time comparing myself to this model. So who am I? And another thing is, so we have a conscious awareness, but we have awareness of unconscious comparisons, where we do things we're not aware of. For example, let's say I met a couple. One came from a family that they're very, very tight. They hold every shekel like this. You try to open it, they won't open it. The other one, they spend it like, they have no money, they spend like this, today they're gonna go out of the world. They leave nothing in the bank. They live together. This and this. What's going to happen? So who's the fight? Between them or the parents opposite the parents? Each one has a model. And with this model they're coming and saying, this is my model. This is my model. Whoa, this is my model, you're going to fight. You're going to argue. Okay. So what do we do? Okay, we're getting to the solutions. So someone asked me, so what's the problem? I want to change him. I want the house to be better. I want the house to be more efficient. I want my wife to be more efficient. Yeah, I want instead of her making the children to put them in bed 4 hours, you're doing half an hour. What's the problem? First of all, there's a lot of problems. One problem, number one, is that when you are opposite your wife or your husband, and you're as a role of a judge, rabbi, educator, consultant, or critic, then you're opposite him. And you're not together side by side. You say, okay, why aren't you going faster? Why aren't you the house more cleaner? Why is the food not more tastier? And then I become a critic. And once I become a critic, even if my motives is positive, then what's going to happen between me and my wife? We're going to go farther away from each other. That means when you come and say you want to change her and you don't accept your wife as, she's going to say, you don't love me. You don't accept me. You don't receive me as I am. And I'm all the time in a situation where I'm not who I am. Because all the time I have to show you I'm a better person. And what does that mean? That all the time it's going to be more separate. The more I expect more, I'm going to push the marriage farther and farther, Hashalom. And another thing was happening is that I started to feel disrespect opposite my wife. Why? I expect and talk to her that the house should be more cleaner. And the house is not clean. So what I'm going to say, she doesn't respect me. She's not fulfilling a road. Why did I get married to her? Well, my expectations make a situation where I become more and more farther from each other. I'm going to tell you something very strange. I want you to listen to me to the end. I want you to believe it. I'm a marriage counselor, 21 years. As a husband, which I'm married around 20 years in this video, I have not managed to change my wife once. Serious. Okay. And I'll tell you something even stronger. I've not found a couple, a man and wife, that I managed to change them. I don't understand. So what, I can't change my wife? Totally not. No and yes. No, you can't. And yes, we can help. Well, that will be the second stage. And another default or something bad coming out of this is that even if you make success and you persuade your wife to be more efficient, she's going to turn around and say, you're trying to control me. You're bossy, have no air. You're going to lose anyway. Any way you take it around, my expectations is translated to distance. We have a big problem here. So what can we do? Connection, listen to me very carefully, it's very important. Connection is a base for change. I am willing to listen to someone who respects me and loves me. If I'm opposite someone, I will not listen to him. But if I'm next to him and she or he feels and hears that I love her, respect her, accept her as she is, she or he will be willing to listen to make a change. Not because I told her that she's making a change, because she wants to make a change. It's two different worlds. If I tell someone to make a change, it won't work. If I talk to them and they want to make that change, then there will be a change. And my wife has made many changes in her life because she wanted to make it, not because I told her to do it. And all the couples that come to me have made big changes in my life, not because I told them, because they wanted to. Now we have rules of success. One, it's his problem, not yours. If he's not efficient, he can't get up in the morning, he can't daven, or he davens ala panim. It's his life, his problem. I'm married to him, it's his problem. He has to take responsibility. If he doesn't take responsibility, there won't be any changes. Faith, you have to believe in him. And the faith is self-prophecy, meaning if you believe in him, he will change. But it can take years. It can take days, months, but it can take years for change. You need a lot of patience, that's number 3. And 4, which is hardest for everybody, including me, to accept, to be able to accept the behavior which is for you hard today. That's a basic what's happening between a relationship. But it still bothers me, Moshe. What do I do? So I'm going to give you tools to help her or him make a change. You understand the language? How are we going to do it? First of all, we go from a critical language to a bonding language, to a coaching language, to emotional language. And each one is a very powerful tool. These are tools that I use myself in the room where I receive couples. So let's go and let's jump in the water. Before that, we need a break. So a husband went to a library and said, "Where's a book that I remember the supremacy of the man over woman?" So the librarian looked at him and said, "Go to science fiction and see if you can find it there." Okay, tools. Bonding language. I can talk from you should do it, or we can talk what we need to do. The point of view is from together, not what you should change, what the family needs to do. What we need, what can we do together to make it happen? It's not a command instruction, it's a discussion together how a family does it. For example, the husband is falling asleep on the Shabbat and Yom Shishi at Kiddush, says Kiddush, and mine, he falls asleep. Okay, the wife can say to him, okay, it won't help. Or you can say, look, the family really needs you. What can we do together that instead of falling asleep, you give Dvei Torah and connect the family? We really need you. What can we do? So it's not you, it's us together. Coaching language, which is a very powerful tool. I'm going to do it in a few minutes, but trying to understand, is you put the responsibility on him. So you can say, from 1 to 10, how important for you is to get up to pray in the minyan? And he'll say 10. And you can say, why is it 10? And he'll say, because I want to pray, it's important for me, and I feel bad. What can you do differently to change this, which is important for you, 10? And what I'm doing, I'm asking him to choose, to tell me, for him it's important, not for me, for him. And he's going to tell me what he's going to do to change it. It's a very, very powerful tool. And this is just an example how to do it. Emotional language, which is number 3, is by sharing pain. I want to say to you that when you are shouting at the children or hitting them, chas shalom, it makes me feel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Instead of, why are you shouting at the other? Why are you hitting them? Stop it! It's bad! It won't help. You have to say me, I'm in pain. Okay? And very important to explain your pain, why it disturbs you, and sometimes it solves a lot of problem. Another thing is very important is to check the reason why the person can't do it. For example, let's say the wife is very hard to make the house clean. Now it can be two reasons. She doesn't care, or she can't do it. What do you mean can't do it? She has kesher v'rikus. What's kesher v'rikus? She has ADV. It means she has a big problem how to deal with the situation. So you can ask her, how much is important for you for the house to be in order? She'll say 10. Wow. How much does it bother you it's not in order? 10. How hard is it for you to succeed? She'll say 8. It's very hard for me. I can't do it. So let's talk together on what we can do. Now, if you have disagreements on that you're trying to change and you don't succeed or you don't want to succeed, this is a time to go to an experienced marriage counselor and to talk and ask. I bless you all. B'ezrat Hashem. Yesh shalom bayit, ahava, shalom v'yus, simcha. Amen, amen, amen.